Yep. You okay, boy?
This must stop, or we'll be swept away.
Mr. Morgan!
Hello. Here I am, as promised.
Captain Monroe.
Of course.
Chief's gone out trying to find medications. It's quite a business.
Yes. Thought we were through with all this.
Well, we are, mostly. Colonel Favors seems to think the natives have broken some promise they never made, and apparently he's punishing them by withholding vaccines sent down by the federal government.
Really?
I was supposed to oversee the administration of the vaccines. Now I hear the wagon's been diverted.
Why would he do such a thing?
To be honest, I truly don't know. They say he didn't have a very good war, so maybe he's trying to start another one.
Is that what you think?
I'm trying to find out, and he knows I'm trying to find out. He'd love to provoke me almost as much as he'd love to provoke these poor bastards.
Meaning?
Meaning that despite the fact that I think he's a horse's ass, he knows I think that. So we're just stuck here trying to make the best of things.
This is the best of things. Children dying of diseases.
No. This is awful.
Where is this wagon? Where can we find it?
I can show you. It's supposed to be heading to Wapiti after coming up through Valentine, but it's been diverted south instead.
Come on, Captain Monroe.
Mr. Morgan, we must act with due caution.
Oh, we shall. We surely shall. Now come.
Okay. I think I know a spot where we should be able to intercept it.
Lead the way, Captain. So, this Colonel Favors, he knows you're up here helping these people?
Yes and no.
Where are you going? Pick up the pace, sir!
We should hurry. So, I was saying, yes and no. He knows I'm here to produce a report on the situation. I was sent down from the north after all the news of unrest in the region. I think my presence might be making things worse.
What do you mean?
I worry he's taking some of these actions more to protect himself now. He can incite more retaliation, maybe. He can prove a stronger defense.
Like destroying that shrine?
Hurry, Mr. Morgan!
Okay, I'm sorry you guys missed the audio dialogue. Just realized my thing wasn't plugged in. Ugh, it's been a long day.
Okay. I think I
Well,
know
you
a
were still
spot
able to
where we
read the
should be able to
subtitles,
intercept it.
because I do have them on for the hearing impaired and the non-hearing impaired. But what I was saying into the mic was, some people were complaining about the fact. I'll just say it real quick. some people were complaining about the fact that when it came to the Wapiti Res, you can't shoot anyone here, and it's like, okay, you clearly just want to shoot and you're complaining about it. You want to shoot people who are members of a vanishing race just so you can. I mean, it's a game, but it's still the way people think, and the first game had plenty of that when you're killing Dutch's gang, so that's not a spoiler as to what happens, but he does have another gang that's pretty much all native in the first game. And the reason behind them not having guns on the Wapiti Res, it's not just Arthur that's not supposed to have guns. They can't have guns either. Like, they're so caught up in the white perspective that they don't even look at our perspective and realize that those guys don't have weapons either. I mean, they have bows and arrows. You can see bows, but you don't see a single rifle. But then that's because during Wounded Knee, right before the massacre happened, the Lakota were made to give up their rifles. So that's what you're seeing. You're seeing historical historical accuracy, not political correctness. If you want to accuse something of being woke, talk about Sadie. Alright?
You're up here helping these people?
Yes.
GTA 6 is going to be way more woke.
no.
I know it is.
He knows I'm
It's gonna
here
be
to produce a
terrible.
report on the situation. I was sent down from the north after all the news of unrest in the region.
Because they're already talking about not punching down, and I hate that expression. It implies that I'm below you in the first place. I'm in favor of punching every which direction.
Maybe he can prove a stronger defense.
Like, a lot of people say fucked up shit about natives, and the answer isn't to censor them. I mean, if you want to fight them, that's one thing. Sometimes you're risking your freedom, though, depending on if there's a cop in the area. But the thing of it is, you could just roast them back. We're good at that. Don't get so butthurt. Don't let their insult take you so far into the past that you don't know what to do. Just roast them in the here and now. Beat their ass in the here and now. If they think they could say, we won, you lost, get over it, throw a punch at them and see if they win that fight.
Okay. Well, just show me where...
Because a lot of people are afraid to antagonize black people, both for social consequences of being called a racist, and they're afraid black people will fight them. I've fought black dudes a lot of times. To be honest, a lot of them don't have hands. The professional fighters do, but the guys on the streets do not. I'm just being honest. From my experience, that's how it is. But the thing is, in the old days, we were the ones the white man feared the most before our population declined so much. So we just need to remind them who it was that actually destroyed a quarter of the U.S. Army in one battle. The Battle of St. Clair's Defeat. The Battle of the Wabash. So we gotta bring back that fear they have of us, because as much as things were bad back then, at least they knew sometimes not to venture out too close to where we were staying, or we would kill them. Now they have no fear of us. They have fear of us, and they have fear of Mexicans and their Indians, but that's because there's a lot of them. But in this country, people don't fear American Indians anymore, and that's kind of a detriment on our part. They still fear Mohawks, though. They just don't fear other tribes.
I'm still hoping a meeting can be arranged between Rains Falls and Colonel Favors.
I understand.
That's another
So
mission.
I should drop the wagon back at the reservation.
Oh, no, dumbass.
You only need to commandeer the vaccine. Stealing those and an
God, he would get...
only make matters much worse.
Okay.
He would get the entire Wapiti reservation wiped out doing that.
But I don't believe he's callous. More an insecure man at the end of his career trying
Not just the warriors,
cling
but the
on to
women
something
and
that's
the
already
children.
gone. He fought for the Union in the war, and his record was considered far from illustrious.
Oh, you know what?
A failed man is often
They're basing Colonel
dangerous.
Favors off Colonel Shivington, the guy behind the Sand Creek Massacre, because his Civil War record was a joke, too.
There's a nice vantage point up at the top here. Oh. Ha! Okay, let's dismount here. Best leave the horses back a bit. We'll have a good view over the road from this ledge.
It's not like you're gonna do anything. I mean, this guy's obviously a good dude because he's trying to help, but
Wagon should come along this way.
Okay.
he's not even willing to
Good
kill
man,
his
Mr.
fellow
Morgan.
soldiers, so he's
I
still got
fear this
misguided
task could be
loyalty.
a fool's errand.
Well, firstly, I'm a long way from a good man. Secondly, fool's errands are my favorite kind of work.
Fair enough. In that case, I can see we shall be great friends.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Why don't you just tell all the folk up in Washington what kind of an idiot Colonel Favors is, and save us all a lot of bother?
Unfortunately, the government doesn't work quite like that.
If you say so.
There. Think that's the wagon.
All right, get yourself out of here.
Just remember to keep it clean, understand me?
Don't worry, I'm as clean as they come. Hell, all I do is clean.
Well, good luck.
I'll meet you back at the reservation.
Try not to get yourself killed, Mr. Morgan.
No, now, I can't promise. Yep. Come on.
See if I can hop behind the wagon without them knowing. I have to just kill them, I will, but...
Hold it right there.
Whoa, you better put that down right now.
Gonna need your cargo, fellas.
Are you insane? We're the United States Army. That's it. Shoot that bastard already.
Yep.
Well...
Yeah.
Didn't know if there was a way to sneak on.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, boy. Go, go. Yeah. 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 Ah.
You know, I don't even think I should keep this clean. Because these guys aren't keeping it clean with the reprisals. So yeah, I'm gonna do what I always do. Maybe. Unless I can hop into the wagon.
Okay, boy. Too damn close. Great.
That's pretty close to where the army also is. That's probably where they were going. I'd never let them get that far before, so... Wait a minute, that guy's not even gonna do anything about the fire. That's hilarious. Yeah, this is the rifle I want, not the other one. Oh, see there. Yeah, he's just walking casually by. And if the idea is to keep the Wapiti off the, keep it off the trail of the Wapiti, from a realistic standpoint, not necessarily a Red Dead 2 standpoint. Anyone who saw anything would have seen Arthur and Captain Monroe. And when it came to using fire for warfare, I'm not saying that tribes didn't do that, but you'd be more likely to either use an old school way of making fire, like torches, or putting fire on a arrow tip. We also had our own way of making forest fires that were controlled forest fires, and some firefighters actually still do that. But they have to have certain special kind of permission to do it, obviously. But a Molotov cocktail would not be the first choice. Not back then, anyway. And it wasn't even called a Molotov cocktail. But they obviously existed, but it wasn't called that.
You're alright, boy. Alright, boy.
Plus, if anyone was to do an... they didn't have the autopsies we have now, but people still were in the beginning of the late 1800s. They were starting to get in the way of autopsies. They were starting to do it. Like, they would look inside dead animals to see what the cause of death was. I'm not quite sure when they started doing autopsies on humans in America on a massive level. Probably the 20th century, but they would still find bullet shells inside their corpses if I hadn't burned them. Well, they'll find it on the other guy, so, you know, it's... If I was around back then and I was killing soldiers, I would be careful not to shoot them with arrows. Or if I did, I would wait until after we killed them, take the arrows out of their body, leave it with me, and make sure they had some bullet wounds. You know? And as far as scalping goes, I'm gonna be real about that. Some tribes didn't do that before colonization, but others did. Because the European method of all that was to just take the entire head. So, my nation definitely did that, but there's more to it than that. We also would use a scalp for a medicine charm. I can't go too much into that in depth, and I won't. But you wouldn't just take someone's scalp willy-nilly. There was a whole ceremony involved with it, and you had to be... a man was considered unclean in the same way a woman was considered unclean during that time of the month if he had taken a scalp, so...
I got the medicine.
Oh, wonderful. That's great news, Mr. Morgan.
Yeah, well, don't worry. It didn't go too bad.
I'll take your word for that. We could both swing for this.
Yeah, well, I think I'm a little past caring about hanging, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just hope Colonel Favors thinks he was robbed by bandits and not...
Oh no, I'm still a bandit. There ain't no doubt about that.
Of course. Well, I better get to work. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Bandit or not, this was a good thing. Maybe it'll get us both killed, but it had to be done.
I hope so.
It should get you killed if one of us has to die, just because you're not even willing to fight soldiers. You're asking me to kill soldiers to help Wapiti. That's kind of the thing with so-called allies in this context. People like Captain Monroe is... The other thing is, it's Rains... I get that Rains Fall is an elder who fought in the past already. But the issue with this is... it's beyond just that. It's also the fact that shit. Hold up, let's go to Eagle Flies. Yeah, it's not just that. Like, he wants me to not kill soldiers. He wants me to keep it clean, so I can tell that he's still conflicted about it. And I think it's very much the same way that you'll have modern white liberal types, much like Dutch Vanderland or Captain Monroe, either way. But they'll claim to hate slavery and they'll claim to hate genocide, but they still admire the They still admire the founding fathers. The average patriot still admires the founding fathers. And they don't care that George Washington said that Indians are like beasts of prey like the wolves, and that like wolves we deserve total ruin. They don't care that Thomas Jefferson and Andrew Jackson both had their role in removal. Jackson was the Trail of Tears guy. All the presidents from that era were bad. All the presidents from this era are bad. We just don't know every little thing they do. And people are so caught up in the left versus right dichotomy, it stops them from thinking. I mean, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing and expect different results. Well, what then is every election we have every 4 years? And I know that the Republicans don't care if I vote or not. And I'm not gonna vote because I know that we don't have real fair elections. I know that they're rigged every step of the way. But and if you believe that they're not, you probably believe the official 9/11 story and that the US had no role whatsoever. I'm not saying Al-Qaeda didn't do what they did. I'm not denying that the 19 hijackers, for example, had their role in all that. They did. But what...
Oh, hey, you there! Think you could help a lady out?
No. Not my problem. You wouldn't do it for me. I got a timeline, lady. Oh, fucking well, I took a karma hit. Big deal.
Good boy.
None of that means anything.
Yeah, okay, boy. There, boy. Yeah.
Let me try... You know what? I should probably do the Trelawney mission first. I usually do the Eagle Flies mission just because it's closer. But I think I know that the Trelawney mission is going to be... Yeah, it's going to be the mission where I believe we're going to help rains fall. Yeah, let's just do that instead. We'll come back this way. Plus I need to give Arthur a bit of a shave, but the mustache is looking pretty good to me. Pretty cool. Pretty ace.
Good boy.
Just gotta get rid of his 5 o'clock shadow. And maybe do a little camp interaction.
Yeah, okay, boy. Yeah. Go, go. Hill. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, boy.
It's a very fine horse.
Can you help me, mister?
What's the problem?
My goddamn horse got spooked and run off.
You hurt?
Not too bad, at least. But he took my damn leg.
Sorry.
He went that way, I think. His name's Buell.
Buell?
Second time a prick named Buell cost me a leg.
Huh?
Buell was my general when I lost it.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, if you see an angry bastard of a horse with my wooden leg, I'd be real grateful.
I'll bear that in mind.
Maybe the spirit of his general is in Buell's body. Because he would have been a young man when the Civil War went. This is 1899. Civil War was from 61 to 65. So his general probably is not alive anymore. Even if you factor in old age, this is 1899. He's not alive anymore, most likely.
Shit, spooked all right. Take it easy there. Whoa. Whoa. It's okay, boy. Easy. Easy. It's okay. Easy. Good boy. Easy. You're okay. You're okay, boy. Easy. Whoa, whoa, easy. Easy, easy. Whoa. It's all right, boy. Whoa. Well, come on, Dan. Let's get you back. Yeah, he's just where you left him. Can't go
Now, I know a lot of
far
people
without legging
that have played
disturbed.
this game before.
Can't
If
go
you
bucking
haven't,
like that.
don't listen to me, but
It better be good, you hear?
those that have played it,
Get the notion
you're
he's
worried
got a
about
man
me
going across.
and Buell and a certain
No matter how
mission,
big
and I'm gonna
strong
stable him before I'm not gonna wait to play him as John. I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna just stable him. That way he'll be safe. Will it let me? Okay. That's fine. I think we made it to where we're supposed to. Where is he at? Oh, never mind.
Easy. It's okay. Easy. Whoa, boy. Easy now. Whoa. Easy, easy. Take it easy there. Whoa. That's it, boy.
Wait.
We ain't far now. Nothing gonna spook you here. Come on. You're not so nasty.
That way John will still be able to get Buell, but... No, I know that's what people are thinking about. Come on, man! Dumbass Buell.
Whoa there. Easy. Easy there. Easy. Whoa, easy. Easy. You're okay. Easy. Hey, easy now. Easy there. Whoa. Easy.
I bet my horse is just thinking, God, would you get a fucking move on already?
Whoa there. Easy. Whoa. 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 Easy. Easy. Whoa now. Easy.
Look, dumbass, I'm not the one that decided to have you walk up on a rock like that. I can't see what I'm doing because I have to lead this stupid horse. Because it decided to buck his own owner.
I found him.
You're a good man, Mr.
Arthur. You're right. He's a brute.
Hamish Sinclair. Yeah, he's a great horse, aside from when the devil got him. Hey, you want to hand me that leg there, please? And while you're at it, give old Buell a kick for me, would you? I'm only kidding. Thank you. Weren't but a snake that spooked him. You're a real gentleman, you know?
Sometimes, maybe. Yeah, how'd you lose a leg?
Oh, in the war. Cannonball. Pretty clean, though. I don't have much pain, and I didn't get any gangrene. A young boy went into battle with me, got cut in half, so all things considered, I'm doing pretty well, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. So, how is the false one?
It's okay. I can still hunt, fish, enjoy the outside. Weren't sent too crazy by it. Anyway, I ain't got much to pay you with.
You know, that's okay.
You like fishing? You can come with me someday. I know some pretty good spots.
I'm a pretty poor fisherman.
Yeah, well, I'm great, so between the two of us, we do okay. My cabin is right over on the other side of O'Creagh's Run there. Thanks again. You throw me again, you old dumb bastard, I'm gonna put a bullet in you. I'll see you again.
Come on, boy. Yeah! Bastard! Yeah, good boy. Go, go! Yeah, that's it, boy.
Uh-oh, what legendary animal have I stumbled upon? Hey, there's Hamish. Oh, that's his cabin, so... Oh, wait, it's the fish. Because he wants to go fishing here.
Yeah!
So I'll put fuel off to the side when I get them. Hamish is gonna give them to me. After I earn it, that is. But I like this horse better. Tornado.
There, boy.
But no, we're not gonna hitch him here. Come on. Sorry, boy. Didn't mean that.
Alright, boy.
Well, this gun's a piece of shit as it is, so I'm not too worried about that.
Good boy.
Might as well get the other ones I can get that need to be clean. Only a little, but sure.
Idiot.
No, it doesn't. This probably does. Nope. That's not too bad. It's not. I'm not gonna waste gun oil for that much. Or that little. Alright, that's probably okay.
Hey! Who's there?
Somebody you don't like and who doesn't like you. Dill.
Oh, look who it is!
Fuck you, you drunken skank.
Look who it is! Oh,
Hey, can you hold that?
it's bad. Well, shouldn't interrupt the lady.
Dilly, I do believe you got a cold heart.
Now you know that ain't true.
Of course it ain't, but I'm scared.
Me too. Me too.
Look at the state of you.
Hey, there's no need for that.
Hey, only trying to improve the mood a bit.
Go throw up, you drunk.
Morning, I suppose.
Long dead. How are you doing?
Everything's falling apart. What are we gonna do, Arthur? son of a bitch, John.
No. I won't let my child die because of Dutch. Can't. I love Dutch. But this is getting crazy. You know it.
Javier's acting like a little bitch.
Josiah?
I was,
Leaving again?
yes, just leaving. I'll see you soon.
Perhaps.
No, you won't.
What do you mean?
Well, if I was you, I'd disappear too. This is all pretty much over.
I'll be back.
No, you won't. Let's not pretend no more. Get out of here.
I'll miss you, Arthur. You've been a fine friend to me.
No, let's not get over sentimental. Well, the place is quiet. Get out of here. You go with my blessing.
Thank you, Arthur.
Wonder what happens to Trelawney.
Found a friend looking for you.
Mr. Morgan,
Sir,
how are you?
a little better.
I hope so.
How can I help you?
I'm sorry to impose on you again, but I believe I've made progress brokering peace.
You have?
I believe so. Colonel Favors has agreed to a meeting to discuss and maybe resolve his alleged grievances and mine. Now, he has lied to me more times than I care to remember, but maybe this time he must want peace. Why could he possibly want to humiliate us further?
We got words for his kind, but they're colloquial.
Perhaps I could make one last request. My men are not allowed to carry arms.
You want us to keep the peace?
Yeah, it'll be a lot of dull talking and ceremony. But I feel with some non-tribe members present, their chances of lying or worse will be reduced.
Will you, Arthur?
It ain't my business, brother.
No, I know. But it is mine. Do it for me?
Charles, I got...
I've saved your life. Do it for me.
Sure. Come on.
I wonder if he was gonna say I got tuberculosis.
You should have him do your negotiation.
Let's go.
But he's not gonna tell him till the next time we do a mission with him.
This way. I also have some men meeting me there. I wasn't sure if you'd be able to help. Thank you for doing this, both of you. You have already done so much.
Ain't a problem. Just hope nobody recognizes me. I've had a few run-ins with the army recently.
Wish we could have done more to control the situation.
Dutch should not have gotten involved.
My son has a mind of his own. Too much so, in fact. I just hope Colonel Favors can be reasoned with. I am not asking for very much, but when our people are sick and hungry, and we find our medicine and supplies are being deliberately withheld, how can we not view that as something personal? When they destroy our sacred sites, how can I convince Eagle Flies and the others that they shouldn't fight back?
Maybe that's part of the reason they're doing these things. Because they want you to fight. Be able to say, look, you see how these savages behave?
That's what they did at Standing Rock.
Thank you for helping Captain
Sorry.
Monroe retrieve those vaccines, Arthur.
That's what they did at the Standing Rock protests.
One person who
And
knows
because the warrior camp automatically ruled out any violent
I still have
resistance,
hope that we can come to
it was a failure.
an agreement.
Standing Rock is not it's not an example of a successful protest or resistance or whatever you want to call it. It's not. It's just not. Oka is. The Oka crisis is. And that's the problem, though. People in the United States specifically are really afraid to go against the system beyond protesting. Except for the January 6 fuckers, but it's just like, that wasn't even for a righteous cause. I wouldn't have had a problem with it if they were holding both the Democrats and the Republicans responsible, but they weren't. This country's got a problem with holding rich people accountable. just let them do whatever they want. And the fact that this country pays taxes, just not to the King of England, but like it makes any fucking difference.
Here we are. There's my men.
I mean, it might to people of European descent, but if you're First Nations, none of that shit matters. You're just either paying taxes to one crook or another that's not really from here.
This way.
See, I like that little detail. It's good that he didn't dismiss the two warriors with him. And it's also good to not show up alone as a chief anyway, because the Apaches did that once at a U.S. Army camp, and they whipped the chief. I forget if it was Cochise or Mangus, Colorado, but Geronimo came straight back to that camp and butchered the soldiers for doing that, because he saw the whip. He saw the blood and the whip marks on the older man's back, and he was pissed.
Colonel Favors, Captain
Killed every
Monroe,
U.S. soldier there.
Hello again. Who are these two?
They're friends of my people.
Interesting looking fellows.
Yeah, they won't cause any
Say
trouble.
the same about you.
Well, I should hope not.
If by interesting you mean hideous.
Chief.
Yes, Mr. I can't say that silly name.
In English, they call me Rainsfall.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Listen, we're all Americans here, and we want an outcome.
That's not a real
But
identity.
quite frankly, I'm confused.
Because if you take a DNA test, there's not going to be any DNA test that says you're American. It might say you're native to what is called the Americas, but America is an Italian word from Amerigo Vespucci. So no, there's no such thing as Americans. The accepted general word across this land that's indigenous is Turtle Island, because North America actually is shaped like a giant turtle if you look at it on a map. Not every tribe has that, as part of their creation story or spirituality, but other tribes, because in our spirituality there's an actual reference to the land being like that, and it was on the back of a great turtle that Sky Woman danced after she fell from Skyworld, and she spread the earth on the back of a great turtle, and the turtle grew. I don't care if people consider it to be true or not. You can still look at North America and see that it's the size of the shape of a turtle. Meanwhile, the Bible, the book that supposedly has everything to do with every part of the world and that we should all just line up and suck Yahweh's dick, here's the problem. It doesn't mention North America, it doesn't mention Central America or South America or anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. It doesn't mention the Polynesian Islands, and while we're at it, it doesn't mention Australia either, but somehow we're supposed to believe Noah's Ark story? Come on.
Your men are little more than criminals, in my opinion. Keep breaking peace treaties we've made, causing disturbances in everybody's lives. But I pride myself on being a gentleman. Really, I do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do, you
But
delusional
there are
fuck.
limits. So, let me be very... Are you okay, man? Someone.
God,
Jack,
he just sounds so compassionate. You okay, man?
Gentlemen with
More
limits.
annoyed.
Are you being facetious, sir?
Come this way, buddy.
I said, are you being facetious, Captain Monroe?
No, sir, I am not.
Chief Rains.
That's Rainsfall.
Exactly. Chief Rains, the thing
It's quite a
is,
cough.
our federal government
Sure.
that I manage
Wait here.
the situation
I'll fetch you some water.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
No. You know he's going to have Monroe court-martialed. Or attempt to. He's going to make a disgrace of him.
Monroe? Seems likable enough for a West Pointer. Why?
You know what Favors is like. Because he thinks it's right. Because he thinks Monroe
At least
is a
West Point
patsy.
is actually a real
Or a spy.
place.
He He's convinced he has something to do with those vaccines getting stolen. He thinks Monroe is gonna force him into making a concession with the Indians. So he removes Monroe.
Removes how?
Favors wants him tried for treason and hanged.
Why does Favors care about the Indians?
Because he doesn't want to back down. His whole professional life. You know what they say about him. Hightail Favors. The man who missed a battle.
Poor Monroe. Kinda liked him.
I know. Well, still, he's kind of stuck up.
Your men violated the treaty. That treaty is null and void. I have been appointed to negotiate.
Feeling better?
Yeah, come on. Let's go.
And he didn't even fetch me water.
The lands you currently occupy belong to the United States government. Why is this so confusing, sir? Why?
Good day, Colonel Favors.
Well, that was remarkably unproductive. I'm afraid the federal government was quite clear, Colonel, that it wanted peace, and peace for all, and that the treaty had not been broken by anybody.
Oh, is that so, sir? And did it want impudence, sir, from a junior officer in public? Was that its plan too, sir? You insult me. You insult the regiment. Arrest this man.
Arrest me?
Gross insubordination. Disobeying an order. Treason.
Are you mad?
You had those vaccines stolen. You disrupted a negotiation.
Let him go.
This is all getting out of hand.
Captain Monroe, let's get out of here. If I were you, I'd keep my mouth shut, amigo. I don't want to kill this man, but shall. Get off me. Charles, Captain Monroe, mount up now. We're getting out of here.
Yeah, I am gonna kill him. I know most people let him go, but I'm not going to. Gonna have to fight all these dudes anyway.
Son of a bitch. Don't be dumb. Open fire on him.
See? As soon as I let him go, he draws his iron. Arthur may not want to kill them, but I surely do. And I am gonna do a gameplay with a face reveal. Not that it matters that much, but I'm probably gonna do that with Star Wars Fallen Order pretty soon. Sorry, Charles, I'm just trying to get that asshole. See, the fact that Monroe is not shooting, it's like you're so against the genocide, but you won't shoot fellow soldiers to help. Even though they just killed your fucking horse. Like, honestly, we shouldn't even be helping him. Helping Rainsfall, that's one thing, but helping Captain Monroe, nah. Arthur's the better ally than Monroe is. You know, when I see the bullets whiz by, you know what it reminds me of, even though it's not the same kind of rounds, obviously, is, I don't know if you've seen the movie Platoon, but they have tracer rounds in that one, and it kind of reminds me of that for some reason. It's a great movie. I do not like Full Metal Jacket. I think, aside from the training segment, that's pretty much the only part that's good. The actual war, they barely had a firefight. It was stupid. I know that the Marines are more badass than the Army, but that movie failed to show that. I mean, a better example would probably be you know, any World War II movie, but Vietnam, fuck no. You can, you just won't. Not the same thing. And that's really what Captain Monroe, I mean, granted, he's like a politician in his own right, because he had me steal the vaccines, and I was the one that helped Eagle Flies, and I know he doesn't want to be part of it. It's no surprised that he wouldn't know eagle flies even though he knows rains fall. That's also the difference between rains fall and eagle flies. Even though, well, I'm not going to give any spoilers right now, but even with what happens later, well, I'll just leave it at that, but I just agree with eagle flies better, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose or if you live or die, you still fight for what you believe in and what's right. The Irish Republican Army has the same principle. You know, Northern Ireland isn't free, but Main Ireland is, and Northern Ireland will never be free by peaceful means. Unless, I guess, some people thought that the Brexit would have helped with that, but it hasn't. It hasn't changed a thing. We'll loot all these fuckers. That guy kind of looked like Michael from Grand Theft Auto 5. Maybe it was an ancestor. a much less fat ancestor. Wait, what? What happened? Yeah, well, maybe that's because he's a pussy that's afraid to fight, even though he wants to take a stance. He's like those civil rights people, the pacifists that actually believe that they're the ones that changed the way things are, and they're not. The people that actually change things are the violent people. It's just that pacifists, what they like to do, and you see this in India and places like that too, with Gandhi. What the pacifists will do is they'll get their asses beat, but they won't do any return fire one way or another, and there are people who will, and there always is, but then they take credit for what the people who are willing to fight do, and they try to act like it was them all along. Like it was only them. And then they co-opt a movement that they barely had a part of. Basically, pacifists, they take credit and they take the safety for granted that people who are willing to fight are willing to do. They take their efforts for granted. I'm not saying everyone should have to fight, but if you're going to try and take on the system, yeah, you should. Leave the peaceful resistance for the situations that call for them, and leave the ones that are warlike that call for them. The thing is, with a peaceful protest, I talked about the anarchists before. I'm not against violence, but my philosophy is I'll stay peaceful as long as the enemy does. That's the mirror effect, and you can read it about it in the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. The mirror effect is something pretty much any man should be trying to implement. It's better than the golden rule. The mirror effect is better than the golden rule.
Get out of here, Captain Monroe.
I fear it may be Mr. Monroe from now on.
I'm sorry about your career.
Shouldn't even be that much.
Here's some money. You take it and get out
I got
of
a
here.
cough and Arthur's got a cough,
new
but
life
mine's a
somewhere.
smoker's cough.
I hear Tahiti's nice.
And when I smoke less
Jump
weed
on a
during the
train,
day, the
Saint
cough
Denis,
is less
jump on a boat.
intense, so
But avoid Guam.
I know that's
Where?
the
Forget about
answer. I just want to smoke for the rest of winter, maybe, which isn't that much left. But once the spring comes, that's when I want to give it up.
Are you okay?
Well, never better. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm on my way down to Mexico. They're finally sending me on a mission. Brother Dorkins is very jealous. What's wrong?
I'm dying, sister.
Okay?
Yeah, I got TB. I got it. Beating a man to death for a few bucks. I've lived a bad life, sister.
We've all lived bad lives, Mr. Morgan. We all sin. But I know you.
You don't know me.
Forgive me, but that's the problem. You don't know you.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but whenever we happen to meet, you're always helping people and smiling.
I had a son. He passed away. I had a girl who loved me. I threw that away. My mama died when I was a kid. And my daddy... Well, I watched him.
Yeah, and I don't think we should deify them anymore. We should just be like, they're gone. For the most
My
part, those
husband died a
Caribbean
long time ago.
descendants don't matter. Because my
Life is
thinking
full
on
of
it is
pain.
this. We shouldn't put any
There is
stock
also
into
love and
these thin
beauty.
bloods that claim Arawak
What
for
am I
this
gonna
reason.
do now?
They originally came from South America, so
grateful
the
that for
answer
the
is not to
first
kiss
time
the asses of these people
see
that aren't
your
even a
life
quarter
clearly.
native. The answer is to just get more South Americans to move
Perhaps
to
you
the
could
fucking
help somebody.
Caribbean islands
Helping
and BTFO
makes you
the
really
squatters.
happy.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
Often, neither do I. But then I meet someone like you, and everything makes sense.
Oh shit, I just realized you guys probably
You're
heard
too
my
smart
text to
for
my
me,
friend. Oh well.
sister. I guess I'm afraid.
There is nothing to be afraid of, Mr. Morgan. Take a gamble that love exists, and do a loving act.
All aboard?
It's good advice, you
Shall
guys.
try.
I know you will. Goodbye, goodbye, Mr. Morgan. Goodbye.
Sister?
Okay, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, otherwise there's a point in the story where you can get a confession either from skin or from a Mexican nun. And if you have high honor, you get the Mexican nun confession. If you have low honor, you get the drunken cum-skin Protestant who's part of your gang. But he's really annoying. That Brazilian couple I was showing you pictures of before, they really do admire Mexican culture. What I was talking to my friend about since... What I was talking to my friend about was something pretty controversial, which was the Caribbean indigenous people. A lot of them are not really native anymore. Like, their blood is mostly either European or African or both. They're not even a quarter, most of them. And I'm not on some blood quantum colonial shit. It's just simple mathematics. Everything in nature is quantifiable, so it's weird when our people are like, oh, don't compare me to a dog with pedigrees. It's like, dude, it wouldn't matter if we were federally recognized and had to have a certificate of Indian blood or not. And not all natives of the North and South even have to do that. There are plenty of disenrolled natives in the U.S. who are indigenous to the U.S. that are not part of their little system, because the ancestors didn't go by blood quantum or have to be enrolled or any of this shit. I mean, if you want to be real about it, miscegenation is the thing that's killing us, not the blood quantum. Because the blood quantum is just... it's just the symptom. It's not the root cause. The root cause is colonization. So my point about the Caribbeans is, like, they were stupid. Some of the ancestors, not Hatue, obviously, the first guy to be martyred by the church, because he said if Christians go to heaven, he would rather go to hell. That's my philosophy, too. But he, like, the other Tainos, they were too welcoming of the Spaniards, and my thing is, people like to talk about intertribal warfare, and Europeans love to bring that up to justify colonization, but it's like, my question is, what the fuck does Blackfoots and Crees, or Mohawks and Lenapes fighting each other have to do with your lily white ass? That's what I want to know. And I'm not saying I don't have friends of Caucasian descent. One of my good friends from middle school is, but it's only a few individuals in America, from America, that are of European descent that I can really tolerate. It's not even so much about Caucasians, per se, because Europeans in Europe, for the most part, if you meet a European exchange student, they're nicer than American whites. And I would say the same thing with black Africans compared to black Americans. They're generally more polite. I'm sorry if that offends people, but it's the truth. You know, people who are rooted in their homeland and their language and their customs are always going to be more centered. And they're always going to have a code. They're not just making it up as they go. Which is what Americans do. Americans, especially English speakers who can only speak English only, all they can ever do is create more and more slang because they don't have any real culture. Fast food is not real culture, I'm sorry. But my point I was making about the Caribbean natives, and this would offend people that were Puerto Rican or Cuban or Dominican, but my point is, like, they're not like the indigenous of Mexico, Central and South America, in that they have a bunch of mixed bloods with still a high amount of indigenous blood and then full bloods. They don't have that. Have you ever heard of a full-blooded Taino? That's the point I'm making. So that's why natives should be against mixing. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're pro-incest. No. That's not it. You could date other tribes to avoid that. You don't have to date your own tribe. But the thing is, the Caribbean islands, the indigenous of the Caribbean islands, they originally came from South America, so... And there are plenty of people of Arawak descent still in South America, alive and well. Their culture is alive and well. So they could just migrate to the Caribbean islands and take it back. I mean, they were, you know, they were still the earliest inhabitants. And that was really the thing I was trying to imply to her. No, not even imply, just straight out say it. Alright, why is that Sadie mission not available? But the Eagle Flies one is.
The Reverend left, Arthur.
Where'd he go?
I
To
don't
get
know.
a drink.
He left me a note. Told me I should do the same.
Why?
Well, I think he's worried.
He's a right to be worried. You worried?
Sure, but I still think maybe things will turn out okay. You'll steer Dutch right. I know you will.
I'll try, Miss Grimshaw. Really, I will.
Giggity. You two want some meat between that sandwich?
Mr. Escuela.
How y'all doing? Man, we are in some shit now, ain't we?
Plus the Wayu tribe, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but they're a tribe in Colombia and Venezuela. You guys have seen the Mummy movies, the first two Mummy movies. The chick that is Patricia Velasquez, who plays Anaxunamun, that girl is from the Wayu people. And they are a matriarchal tribe too, but the difference between the Waiyu and, say, like, the Caribbean island Tainos is that they, and unlike any other tribe in Colombia, sadly, at the time that the conquistadors invaded, they figured out how to use guns and horses, so their tribe survived and did better than other tribes because of it. So I would put more emphasis on them than just some New York Puerto Ricans who are mostly not even indigenous, and they call themselves Boricua. That means they're identifying themselves as an indigenous person of Puerto Rico, because that's the indigenous name for it, Boricuan. That means place of the valiant lords, I think. I can't quite remember. My thing is, we should just let them rest in peace. I think a lot of us act like the Taino are still alive and well, and the culture is alive and well, despite all evidence to the contrary, because it's what we want to be true. We see it as a ground zero, our own 9/11 of colonization, but the problem is, the survivors bred themselves out. And people think that because I'm a mixed blood that I should be okay with it. It's like, no. I've seen what it's like to try to walk two worlds. It's a horrible life. You got to pick one or the other. And when my people first met the Dutch, because the Dutch were the first Europeans we actually made the covenant chain alliance with, and the French were our enemies and the Dutch were their enemies, so that made it easier too. Back in the 1600s, what the Two-Row Wampum Treaty basically establishes, and this is also the reason why we sided with the British in the Revolutionary War. It's not a matter of rebelling against. They George Washington saw it as, oh, we weren't loyal, and it's like, dude, we were being loyal to the people we made the covenant chain with. You guys were just land-hungry settlers, and so were the British, but the Americans were worse to us in this particular land. Now, when it comes to the Two-Row Covenant chain, what it basically meant was, and we symbolize this in the wampum strings, we stay in the canoe, that's our ways, and they stay in the ship, that's their ways. And that we agree to be friends, but not try to force our ways on each other. That is an Iroquois principle. And it's also said that if you try to walk between the ways of the canoe and you walk between the ship, what happens? You fall in the water and drown. So, a lot of our people have gone the ways of the ship people, and some of the people from the ships have wanted to get into our canoes. But like I said, I maintain that we should be ourselves. Eagle can't be a buzzard.
Where I had my doubts, but since then we've had folk drop like flies. Men I've ridden with for years, just dead, gone.
That's how death is.
Women and children too. This ain't nothing nice. Whole thing used to make some kind of sense, but now it feels like we're waiting on a miracle or waiting to die, and I can't tell which it is. I mean, we've always had problems, but never like this.
Let's go change Arthur's clothes real quick. No, I want the... He's right about that. We have. Can I have it? No? Did I not unlock it? Alright, let's go do that stupid Sadie mission. I mean, it's not stupid. I think, honestly, that is the completion of her arc, when you think about it. The epilogue shit with her, just, a lot of it was dragged out and unnecessary. Kind of pointless.
Mr. Morgan, bring me some materials. Something nice for you.
Well, I never got to do it, so...
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
Alright, let's go deal with Sadie. Where is she at? Oh, she's right there. Yeah, let's ante up on some ammo. Fuck yeah. Alright, I think what we're gonna do is Sadie's mission, and then we'll do...
Mrs. Adler?
Maybe Eagle
You
Flies
okay?
if there's time. No, I think we're gonna wrap it after this, because we got a few missions out of the way already.
No, I ain't sure.
Still working.
Is anybody still working? The whole goddamn place full of people bickering, fighting, and lying. Makes me real sad.
I know. I need someone to ride with me.
Do what?
Finish off them O'Driscolls. I hear the last of them is holed up at Hanging
What?
Dog Ranch.
It would be interesting to play a game as a... I want Sadie and Charles to have their own game, but Rockstar obviously doesn't... Cockstar doesn't care what we want.
Did to me and to my husband. You're the only one of these fools that I trust. I gotta do this.
Why doesn't she trust Charles? She said she trusts him... She liked Charles, she said. In the epilogue, she says she liked him.
Tell you what, I'll do it. But there's something you can help me with.
But maybe they just don't interact. And probably she's judging him for being a quiet dude that doesn't talk a lot.
Make sure they make it. I mean, this whole thing is pretty much done. But when the time comes...
How do you mean?
When the time comes, you help them.
What do you mean?
I mean, help them escape. When I... You know, you and me, we're more ghosts than people. But them, they could...
I know. Of course I will. Thank you all.
See, I do like Sadie in some aspects, and I would like her more if they actually held her accountable for when she acts like an idiot.
Thanks, Arthur.
Like, this is okay. Hitting them at the Hanging Dog Ranch, that's fine. That's what we should have done, but the whole shit show with the O'Driscolls and... And then I don't like how bossy she is in the epilogue when she's hunting bounties, because it's just like, God, lady. And I know people say, oh, it's sexist to use the word bossy, and I say, not if you don't want any boss at all, not if you want to be your own boss. Okay, there's my new spirit animal, but... I don't know. Be better if it was an eagle, you know, something that's not just prey and an herbivore.
You seen anything down there?
Yeah,
I don't like that the animals that you're associated with are prey if you have a good
That fellow
honor.
with the beard, him, he's mine.
Okay.
I do know what they did to her. It's not, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out.
Run down, lots of folk there, but spread pretty thin. I'll set it off and then we'll take it from there.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the same place that, this isn't even the last, I'm not going to give a spoiler as far as the story goes, but what I will do is say this is not the last time we're going to shoot up this particular area. as far as you guys are concerned, she's a female Grim Reaper, so don't even... Yeah, let's just use revolvers. I'll have John use the high caliber pistols, but still for this era, it makes more sense for Arthur to use revolvers. It kind of does annoy me though, because I don't know how many of you have seen that show NYPD Blue, but the character Sipowicz, he uses a revolver well into the 2000s, and I know that a lot of cops, the older cops, did that, but it's just like, goddamn. Yep, gives me plenty to loot with. Oh, they shot her hat off.
It's over now.
You guys are gonna get to meet Colm really quick, or Colm. Much sooner than you think. Got him. See, I want him going to the afterlife sword. See, I'm gonna loot these assholes now, because if I try to do it after this is over, the law will come down on me. They don't want you farming missions with a lot of dead bodies. It's kind of stupid. What's the point of killing all those people if I can't reap the benefit of my if I can't reap the fruits of my labor? You know, you have the option to let Sadie not do this, or to not go with her, I should say.
Is that a woman? Jesus.
Let's finish.
You know, some of the music in this, actually reminds me of the sad music from Game of Thrones. A lot of the violin. But if Sadie didn't have me with her, she would have gotten killed, logically. You would think. Seriously? Yeah, how would she have done all this without me? Because she can't stealth her way through this kind of area. Okay, we need some better guns if I'm gonna be rolling with this idiot. God damn it, Sadie. Why don't we just restart the fucking mission? Jesus Christ. Yeah,
it's
let's...
a big ranch, run down, lots of folk there, but spread pretty thin. I'll set it off and then we'll take it from...
we go with the Evans. Springfield. Get a... not the Warren one, double action. Let's go with the volcanic, I guess. Definitely be wanting all that. Let's go with the machete.
Take it from there. Okay. So, no real plan then.
Oh, I got a plan. Now come on.
End of the road.
I think it's canon that she gets her hat shot off then. Which, now that I think about it, yeah, because we're both going to be covered in dirt and blood and mud by the end of this. Sadie, shoot him.
Okay, you take the barn, I'll take the farmhouse. And remember, if he's fat and he's got a beard, he's mine.
I'll try. We got every side of this thing covered.
We outlaws for good reason.
So no matter what I do, trying to loot, this fucking bitch is... Forget it. I'm gonna loot who I can. Maybe not everybody, but some of them. Honestly, fuck Sadie. What about me? I still have to do all the heavy lifting.
He's got a scope on that rifle. We got...
The last thing that guy saw was me blowing up his friends. before I shot him. Oops, this time I died. The way she's acting, Jake Adler must have been one of the few guys back in those days to know how to actually get a woman off. And I'm talking about, like, in the settler society. In more sexually liberated pagan societies, giving a woman an orgasm isn't a problem, you know? Polytheists invented shit like the Kama Sutra. It's Christianity and the religions like it that cause sexual repression. But yeah, I mean, I get that she loved him, but I don't even know how long they were married. Maybe they were newlyweds, or... I think they had to have been newlyweds, because the likelihood of her not ending up pregnant very quickly would have been very low. I mean, I know they had contraceptives back then, even then, with certain plants, but realistically, how likely is a woman who probably got a farm from the Homestead Act, how likely is it that she's gonna take a contraceptive? I think not.
He's got a stump on that rifle. We gotta try to get around him.
Who else? Okay, forget that door.
I'll try. Who's in here? Come on. The lady outside don't want none of you coming out of here. Damn it, who missed their shot? Let's end this. First you, then the lady.
I'd like to point something else out for those of you who are not gun owners or have never even been to a firing range. You can be a good shot and still miss quite a bit. It happens more often than you think, because it's still, even for the best shots, it can be hard to hit a moving target. So even when you hit them, you're gonna still have some rounds that went wild. It's just the way it is. Supposed to go up here. Yeah, the barn's clear. It is clear. Completely. Guess now would be the time to loot, since she's fucking around in there. There she is, okay. She's just standing there. What? Why aren't you going in there? I mean, it's great. She's giving me a chance to loot, but it's probably gonna mission fail me, but or it glitched or something. Oh wait, I did see an O'Driscoll go up the ladder, and I killed a bunch of them, but I wonder, I swear I saw one go up on the roof. Alright, so... What, am I supposed to check this area? I don't get it. This isn't how it went before. What, jump out the window or something? So I'm not seeing another O'Driscoll, so... I would say the barn is cleared. Completely. Maybe I have to restart or... from checkpoint. What am I looking for here then? Just supposed to blow this fucker up. Yeah, hay burns. I guess that's all I gotta do. Alright, it's gonna have to mission fail it or something because it's not doing anything. It's gonna have to say he was abandoned. At this point, I don't even care about the looting. I just want to get the mission over with, god damn it. This has never glitched like this before. What the fuck, Sadie?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to kill myself then. what else am I supposed to do? I've gone every part of this barn. You know what? I'm gonna walk into the fire like Catherine Braithwaite. What a way to go. God, I gotta do it all over again. Okay. Well, let's get it cracked off then. Okay, then. What was that?
Get out of here!
Bastard in the head! He's got a scope on that rifle! It's moving just like him! Okay, he's dead! Just shoot her! I don't care what she is, shoot her! I'm gonna put a window
That was a good shot.
Who's in here? Come on! The lady outside don't... Look out! He's in here!
That happens entirely too much. Like, what's the fucking point of the remedy shit if I can't even hit it fast enough to get it done when I need to get it done? It's pointless. Well, maybe Sadie could get back down. hurt me more.
Okay, you take the barn. I'll take the farmhouse. If he's fat and he's got a beard, he's mine.
I'll try. Who's in here? Come on. The lady outside don't want none of you coming out of here.
Actually, no matter what ending I get, the person who really sent me is gonna be Thomas Downs. What do we got? Who was shooting at me a second ago? Oh, there he is.
Barn's clear. Sadie! You okay?
Yeah. He was a good man, my Jakey. We was always sweet on one another.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I miss him every day, every moment. They turned me into a monster, Arthur. But my memories of him, they still pure.
I ain't even got that.
Aside from my Jake, you're the best man I've known.
I know the company you keep. The competition ain't too fierce. We should get away from here.
I think I need to be alone for a bit.
I understand. You, I want to get yourself cleaned up.
Thank you, Arthur.
I'll loot as many corpses as I can. There's the... was that a witness? No. Want the horse course close by. so we can make a quick getaway if we have to. See, that's some bullshit. Who reported the crime? There's nobody here. Nobody here living but me. Oh, if those cops ride in, they're dead too. That I can guarantee. I ain't getting out of the area. Not till I get what's mine. Let's get up higher, see where they're at.
Come on, boy. Here. Go, go. Help. Whoa.
Oh, I got the loot after all.
Yeah. You're okay, boy. Yeah. Come on. There, boy. Yeah, good boy. Ah. Yeah, good boy. Yeah, that's it, boy. Yeah. Ah. Yeah. You're okay, boy. Ah!
Holy shit. Okwari. Will I skin the Okwari? Yes, I will.
All right, boy. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. All right, boy. Now, come on. Yeah. 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 care about this girl? Stand up for yourself. She'll come around.
Yeah? I've been waiting.
Trust me, kid. There ain't so many good men out there. Make yourself one of the good ones.
Thanks, mister. I hope you're right. You wait, Millie Meg.
Good boy. Yeah! Good boy.
Back then, being a good man meant something. It doesn't really... it's no guarantee these days. I'm not a good man. I'm morally gray. I'll be the first to say that. And like I agree with Emperor Palpatine that good is a point of view. I mean, we can go by what, you know, has the most harm or what has the least amount of harm, and we can look at the evidence as far as that, but it is pretty subjective, morality.
Come on! Out of the way! Yeah. You're all right, boy. Faster! Yeah, okay, boy.
Whatever I do, Eagle Flies, that's gonna be next time. So, actually, let's just wrap it up here. Alright.